What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles. And in the credit card game, there is a lot of talk about trifectas and quadfectas. There are some really cool videos on YouTube about the Chase trifecta, the Amex trifecta, and the list goes on and on. But what if I told you you could find a fairly valuable US Bank quadfecta? Now, US Bank has been fairly quiet recently, but I think if you watch this video, you might find that this quadfecta is at least a little bit interesting, especially if you're someone who likes to move in and out of the points and cashback games. But if you're new to the channel, we talk about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel. If you're interested in that sort of thing, slap that subscribe button. We're a growing channel, and it is a great time to jump on board. And as always, guys, if you get any value at all from this video, please hit that like button. It will, without a doubt, help our YouTube algorithm, and it'll help get this information out to other people who might enjoy it. Now guys, you have spoken, and I know everyone is in a hurry and they all want to digest content quickly. Let's jump right in here with both feet and talk about this concept of a US Bank quadfecta. Now, first off, don't look for all the luxury benefits and coupons you see with Amex, but you are also not likely to miss all the restrictions you might have with a Chase setup either. This one is a little different, so let's get started. First, I'm going to go over each of the cards that are in the setup. And in the next section, I'll give a brief description of that card and what they do and how they work within this setup. So here we go. Which cards are in the US Bank quadfecta? First things first. The only card in this quadfecta with an annual fee will be the main travel component of this setup, the US Bank Altitude Reserve. This is another card you haven't heard a whole lot about lately. Number 2 on this list is the US Bank Altitude Go. Number 3 on the team is the US Bank Cash Plus. Some of you are probably tired of hearing me talk about this card, but hey, it just works in a lot of different systems. Fourth and final card in this system is a business card. It's the relatively new US Bank Triple Cash. Now let's look at these cards a little closer and then we'll summarize the setup, and you should have a good idea if this is something that you could actually be interested in. First off, guys, the big kid. The US Bank Altitude Reserve doesn't have a bonus. This card has a 50,000 altitude rewards points bonus for spending $4,500 in the first 90 days. Pretty standard for a middle tier premium travel card. Now, these 50,000 points are worth $750 when used in the Altitude Rewards Travel Center, which is going to be a 50% bonus, and that is most likely how these points will be used. And before I go any further, we will likely rely heavily on the US Bank Altitude's Travel Center for our travel spend. And I also want to mention that the points earned on this card will be in a separate pool from all other US Bank points or cash back. At this time, you cannot combine the Altitude Reserve points with, say, points from the Altitude Go. They will be separate. So what does this card earn? This card earns the following: 5 times on prepaid hotels and car rentals within that travel portal. 3 times points on eligible travel purchases. And here is the catch-all: 3 times points on spend with a mobile wallet. That's your Apple Pay, your Google Pay, Samsung Pay, etc. Now, we did mention this is the only card in the setup with an annual fee, and it has a premium annual fee of $400. Now, let's see what we can do to mitigate that fee. This card comes right off the bat with a $325 annual credit for travel and dining purchases. So I'm pretty sure everyone can make this effective annual fee $75 a year, no problem. A quick summary of the benefits includes some airport lounge access. It won't be the major premium airport lounge access like you get on the American Express Platinum card, but you will be able to go to some airport lounges. This card has no foreign transaction fees, so you can use it overseas or in a different country. It is also a Visa Infinite card. Next up in this setup is the US Bank Altitude Go card. This card is going to be relatively simple. No annual fee, and it does currently have a 20,000 point bonus worth $200 in cash back. This card will earn the user 4 times points on dining, 2 times points on grocery, streaming, and gas. There is a $15 yearly streaming credit that you can use, and that will effectively make this card net positive. Next up, you've heard me talk about this card several times, so I will make it super quick. The US Bank Cash Plus. This card earns cash back, 5% in 2 quarterly categories that you choose. My favorite examples are home utilities and TV internet streaming. You choose the categories each quarter and there is a $2,000 cap. I always say this card can be in anyone's wallet. It has no annual fee and it still has that $200 bonus. Now, the card to shore everything up and get some more bonus categories is the US Bank Triple Cash. It is a business card, and I am willing to bet that you are eligible for a business card. This card has a $500 bonus for spending $4,500 in the first 150 days. It's a great bonus. This card will earn you 3% cash back on gas, office supply stores, and cell phone services. That is not a bad pickup. So let's summarize this entire setup, not counting the bonuses, which are substantial. Let's assume that the points we earn on our Altitude Reserve card will be reserved only for purchases through the travel center, so we can get that 50% bonus on all our points. Taking that into account, this setup will get 7.5 times on prepaid hotels, 7.5 times on rental cars, 4.5 times on our normal travel purchases, 4.5 times on all our mobile wallet purchases, which could be your catch-all. Almost everyone is taking mobile payments now. That is the big deal of this setup. 4 times on dining, 5 times on home utilities, 5 times on TV, internet, and streaming. Those are the examples I gave for the Cash Plus. And you will also get 3 times back on gas and 3 times back on cell phone service. Now, those are some pretty good bonus categories and a pretty good value when you figure this entire setup is only going to cost you $75. Some other things to consider. To redeem your cash back, US Bank will require you to have a US Bank checking account. It's no big deal. You can open one in minutes, and they also have bank account bonuses if you're into that. This is not as exciting as a Chase or Amex, and there's no really cool association with your favorite brands like Hyatt or Delta, but it's simple, cost effective, and it's valuable. Now, at the end of the day, would I recommend getting this Quadfecta with all the other options out there? Probably not. I don't think I would actually recommend it, but this is actually an exercise to remind you that there are other options out there besides the big 2 setups. But I also think that if you were to pursue this Quadfecta, I think you would do just fine in the redemption category and you would get tons of value, especially if you're someone who travels a little less and likes to mix in that cash back. Guys, if you stayed around all the way to the end, thank you.